Good afternoon, traders, and welcome to another StockX recap. So today we're going to be discussing opportunities that are available in the market. So with the economic reports coming out with the GDP reports, as well as the core PCE, we want to make sure that you guys know exactly what we're looking at and what opportunities exist in the marketplace, so that way you guys can make money in this volatile and potentially uptrending market. So let's get into it and let's discuss it in great detail. So in today's session, we've seen that the S&P 500 was very choppy. So the key thing here was that it was chopped primarily because the S&P 500 did not hit any inflection point, and we pretty much chopped in most of the majority of the time within our neutral range. Now in our Discord, we communicated that the following here. So based on our report here, we had a reason to believe, and this is before market open, of course, that the market had potential of going towards 850, 820, but it looks like it's centered around the 5770 and 5780 zone. So this is where we were very cautious around these trading ranges. The bullish gamma for today was at 5800. So if SPX had hit 5800, then there would be a nice opportunity to believe that 5820 was within range. Okay, so our bearish gamma explained that the market is bearish if SPX went to the futures low, which is at 5750. Now, based off this here, if the market had broken this level here, the gamma would have pushed SPX towards 5730 and potentially 5720. Now, the neutral range, so this is where the delta is neutral and most likely choppy and sideways action. And based on this report here, we knew we had a reason to believe that S&P 500 5800 would be a key resistance. If it failed, it would drop 50. That didn't happen today. But I said that we're likely to see chop around 5760 and 5770, which was our neutral gamma, and we've seen that right over there. Now, going forward into the day's play here, we did catch some nice plays, including SPX. We made 40%. We had a PLTR put play that moved a little. We sold at a small win because we didn't like the market, and we took multiple plays on Meta that were swinging, and on CrowdStrike as well as MSTR, which managed to do pretty good. Okay, so here's the opportunities that exist in the marketplace. So S&P 500 broke through my 5760 zone. You can see here this happened on the Monday. Now this level had breaking through on the first day of the week here, which can happen, but the market starts to become very hard to trade when that happens early on, because usually you start to see a chop. So once it got through the bullish breakout range, we start to really move, but we haven't got through this 5792. Now this 5792 is going to be a very tough number, especially considering that in today's market, especially tomorrow, we got some details with the core durable goods, and we got the GDP reports on Friday and the core PCE. So those are going to be the main catalysts that we see. So the opportunity on SPX is going to be very minimal until we get through 5800. This level, of course, this is the reason why we have our daily levels, because sometimes our weekly levels break. The reason why S&P 500 was very bullish in the first place had to do with the fact that Trump said he was likely to go easy on the tariffs. Okay, and that's what caused the pump up on SPX way before that happened here. Okay, we opened at 5720, my level 1 bullish, and ripped all the way to the top, as you guys can see here. Now I believe the market could potentially see higher. Why? Because QQQ has more room to grow. So even though the SPX seems like 5792 is my top level, QQQ had a bigger potential move. So that means techs can go. And we had an evidence today that fangs are starting to move. You've seen Apple green, you've seen Google green, you've seen Meta green. So that's why it's important to look into the fangs, because the fangs are moving. Okay, you're seeing weakness in the semiconductor space. Nvidia was down 2% at the lows. So the semiconductors is where you do not want to be at this time. Okay, they may start to move when the market is really strong, but at this time, the fangs is where the money's at. Apple, Google, Meta, Amazon, and possibly Tesla. So this is included in the mag, but not in the FANG. Okay, so um, very important to watch there. You're starting to see those techs move and not the semiconductors. Now, going into today here, we pretty much see the IWM stopped at our estimated weekly high. You see that QQQ slightly broke through our estimated weekly high and looks like it's triggering towards 496. NVIDIA pretty much looks like this 121 hard resistance. It did break out briefly here, but we need 123 to really for it to start moving. Tesla, you see here, broke through my estimated weekly high. Now this 292 is going to be a very tough number on Tesla. The thing about Tesla here is that I actually told the team that 270 is where you want to see an opportunity for. Now, if we look into the details here, the Tesla 300 call has broken its previous high, the premium here, and we want to see if this can go back towards 1.5. If it goes below 1.5 and goes lower, then you know that Tesla's run may be over. So just be aware of that when you guys are looking into the premiums. Now going back towards this over here, we're seeing that a lot of our levels have pretty much been hitting. And when we go into Meta here, so I'm especially optimistic about Meta. 620 was a tough number, tested on Monday, rejected, went to our 613, and then absolutely exploded towards our level 2, 632. And this is where we see that Meta can potentially go back to a new high, potentially around 640. So we're watching that carefully as well. Meta had news that they're looking to add a ad tier, which is $14 per month. So if you guys pay that $14 subscription, you will avoid ads. I know some people are annoyed by ads, so that can be a very big catalyst. You're seeing that ARM bounce off our level 1 bullish. I didn't really hit our level 2 yet, but it's just moving there. You see that PLTR rejected somewhat our level 2 bullish. This may potentially hit 100 if the market looks strong. Broadcom hit our level 1 bullish to the T here and is moving lower. So Broadcom is where I'd consider taking puts if the market is weak. You see SMCI still trading in our chop range. That's a void. You see that crowd hit exactly our estimated weekly high at 392 and moving lower now. So what we're looking for CrowdStrike is to see if it can retest at 392, and that can be a nice move. MSTR managed to stay above 340, so cryptos are looking good. Our estimated weekly highs around 350 there. And coin, we got a nice play off this where we bought it at this level 1 bullish, banked off 30% on that specific play, and we saw that there. You see Netflix over here also broke out and is moving towards the upside as well. Hood has an event tomorrow, okay? So it tried to break through, and it did pop through this bullish breakout zone, but now what we want to see is if it can get through above 50 and start to rip above 51. So you want to be very careful with Hood because it's all about the news on that regard here. So the trade ideas I'm looking at for now is I'm bullish on Meta. Meta looks like it could potentially hit 632. Once that 632 breakout happens, its next zone is around 640. So the 640s and the 650s are going to be in play. You want to make sure that you get the 650s under 1. And PLTR, I like the calls here, especially if the market is strong. The $100 call, if you can get it on at 30 cents, might be a great opportunity for there. MSTR, keep an eye on the 350 calls. If you can get the 350 calls at $1, then it can definitely work. I know that the 350 calls are kind of expensive right now. So if it does slow down and crypto doesn't move, then that'll be a solid opportunity as well. So we're holding all those plays, and we're looking forward to banking with you guys on that. So thank you for tuning in. We'll see you guys in the next one.